working with the second chakra, the orange chakra, which is located in the lower abdomen, and it has to do with creativity in all senses of the expression. It helps us create healthy boundaries for ourselves, having a feeling or a sense of abundance. It has to do with our sexuality and how we experience pleasure. So today we're going to be doing a short sequence, and we start out a little fluid, getting the creative juices flowing, and then we do some hip openers because it's opening up that whole area. So we'll start on our hands and our knees, and we'll do a couple of cat-cows. So you're going to tuck your back toes, inhale, and stretch your heart forward, looking up. Then on the exhale, you're going to round your spine, untuck your toes, really drawing that lower belly in. And again, inhale, chest forward, look up, tucking the toes. And exhale, rounding the spine. Getting a really nice round of the spine, making sure that lower abdomen's in. Again, inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Let's do about 3 more of those. Inhale, and exhale. Really sort of visualizing that area of the abdomen. Exhale. Time, keeping your toes tucked, we're going to lift our hips up and back into downward facing dog. And just hang out here for a minute, stretching down through the palms of your hands, out through your fingertips. Shoulders are away from the ears, and maybe bend your right knee for a minute, and bend your left knee for a minute, and then straighten both of your legs. Then we're going to take your right leg up into a lunge, and just bring your left foot up to meet it. And hang here for just a second. Stand at forward bend, Uttanasana. Letting your head hang heavy, letting your arms be loose. You can grab your elbows if that feels better to you. And then let's come onto our fingertips, onto the floor or your shin. Inhale, glance up. Exhale, fold back forward. And inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And hands down the center. Now we're going to do Surya Namaskar. A, which is a descent salutation, getting the body flowing just a little bit. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, glance the heart forward, look up. Exhale, right leg back into a lunge. Left leg back to meet it. And we're here in plank. We're going to low into chaturanga and hover, untucking the toes, and lifting the heart into upward facing dog. Exhaling the hips up and back into down dog. And take a breath here. Now you can jump or step to the front of your mat. And we're going to shine our heart forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. Hands down the center. Try that one more time on the breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, glance the heart forward, look up. Exhale, jump or step into chaturanga. Untuck the toes, inhaling upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And take a breath. And taking the right leg up in between your hands. We're going to place our back leg on the floor, untucking the toes. Now you can leave your hands here on the floor. This is Bella. Or you can bring them up onto your knee. We're really trying to get a nice stretch on this front hip flexor muscle. And then lift your arms up to the ceiling if that feels good in your body. Otherwise you can leave your hands on your knee or on the floor. Breathe. Getting a nice stretch through that hip flexor. Setting those hips low. Protecting the knee by keeping the knee over the ankle. And hands down the frame of the foot. Tuck the back toes, and we're going to step back into plank. Low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And we're going to exhale, downward facing dog. Now taking the left leg up. Same thing on the left. Set the foot up in between the hands and do a nice low lunge. And then untuck the toes, placing the back leg on the floor. Getting the hips nice and low, setting the hips nice and low. And again, leaving your hands on the floor, or maybe walking them up to your knee, or maybe lifting them, maybe gazing forward, up. And hands down to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes back into a lunge. Step back into plank. And again, we'll lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And again, jump or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. Hands down the center. Now we're going to go into chair pose, Utkatasana. So we're going to inhale, reaching the arms up high, tucking the tailbone and scooping the lower belly in. Sitting low, squeeze your outer hips in, and your weight is in your heels. You should be able to move your toes. And breathe here. Frog position. So open your legs nice and wide, Malasana. We're going to bend down, and you want to push your knees away with your elbows. Press your hands together firmly. I kind of rock into it a little bit, and then settle and be still for a few breaths. This gives you a nice opening in the hips, which is what we're going for. Being careful not to fall over onto that hip, placing a block underneath if you need to. Lifting up.